Okay guys, so welcome back again. So in this video, we'll be having a quick look at ChatGPT. So for those of you who do not know that what ChatGPT is, it is basically an AI based chatbot and it is developed by OpenAI. So many of you have questions that whether ChatGPT would make you lose your job or not. And the quick answer to that is this, that no AI technology can compete with the human brain. Humans are humans and AI is simply AI. And for me, it makes no sense for all of those who says that ChatGPT will make you lose your job or so. But in my opinion, it would make you a better developer or better at your work, whatever work you are doing. And before diving into the code, I would like to do a couple of examples with ChatGPT. So first, you need to log into ChatGPT. Currently, it is free. As you can see here, it is in research preview. It is free in research preview. So you simply need to go to chat.openai.com and then you need to simply log in with your credentials. And let's see that what all ChatGPT can answer. So let's say that if you're a content writer and you wanted to write a blog on REST API, that is what REST API is. So let's type in here, write a blog on REST API. So it would take its time and spit out some code about a blog on REST API. So let's wait for a couple of seconds. So we see here that within a matter of minutes or within a matter of seconds, it wrote us a blog on REST API. And and it can write a blog on anything. And I'm focusing on REST API because I'm a developer and most of my subscribers are developers. So they are mostly interested in this programming stuff. So therefore, I wrote a blog on REST API, or rather, ChatGPT wrote a blog on REST API. And we can see here that here we have a pretty good blog about REST API. And again, I can simply regenerate the response to get a different blog template here, or whatever we call it, or a different blog article on, or a different article on REST API. But I'm not going to do so. So let's quickly start building our React application that fetches a list of followers from my GitHub account on inside a React application. So what do I do is this, that I would simply create a new chat window because this chat GPT remembers the questions that we have earlier asked. So therefore, I'm going to create a new thread here or a new chat so that it starts afresh. So let's write in the chat box, that is create a React app to get a list of followers from GitHub account or from my GitHub. So let's see that what code it generates, and it will take its time to generate some code. So it says that firstly we need to create a create React app by using the create React app package, that is CRA package. And then we simply need to cd into the folder, and then we need to do simply npm start. And now it says that we need to create a couple of components here. So we see that it's generating some code for that component, that is the followers list. So let's wait for a couple of more seconds to generate its thing. So we see that it generated this followers list component here that has a state variable followers, and then it uses the use effect hook to fetch a list of all the followers on the first render. And then it spits out all the li tag inside the ul elements, that is the followers.login, that is the username. And then in your root component, I need to simply get in the followers list. So let's try out that. So instead of spitting it out in the app component, I would simply copy all the code, that is this code, and let's go back to our React application. And let me remove each and everything and let me paste it here, whatever was there inside my app.jsx file directly. So let's save it. And here, before doing so, I need to replace the your username by my username. So let me put in my username here. And watch what happens as soon as I save this thing here. So we see that we get a list of all the followers, but there is more to it. We simply do not want to simply render out the list of all the followers on my GitHub account. And thank you for all these guys who are following me on GitHub. And if you're still not following me on GitHub, do follow me on GitHub. The link is in the description below. And these are all the guys that follow me on GitHub. So let's take it one step further. That is, we do not want to only display a list, and instead we want to display their avatar as well as their username, and we want the link of the username to take to their GitHub profile. So let's do that. So let's ask ChatGPT, and it generated some more code which is not necessary here because it says that we can also create a function called fetch followers, and we can use in our personal access token from GitHub, but we are not interested in that. So what we can ask ChatGPT is to display the followers inside a card with their avatar at the top and username at bottom, which links to their GitHub profile. So let's see that how does it account my previous question, that is this question, that is create a React app to get a list of followers, and use that question with this question to spit out some code. So it says that we need to modify our followers list component like so. Okay, so now we are seeing that this time it is spitting out the class names which it may use to style the application using some class names using CSS. So let's wait for it to finish. And until it is finishing, let me copy in this code from here. That is this div tag, because this is the only thing that has changed from the previous iteration. And now it displays in the CSS that we need to apply to our CSS file. So let's wait for a couple of more seconds to generate the CSS file. All right, so it did its thing. So let's go back. So firstly, let me simply remove this UL element with this thing here, that is with a div. And now let's go back and let's copy in the CSS from here. Let me copy it. Let me click here to copy the code, and let's go back and let's go to our index.css file. And now here, let me paste in the code. So let's save it. All right, so now we see that we have this kind of a card here, individual cards here. And now I would take it one step further, that I want to display these cards inside a grid that has like 4 columns here. So let's go back and let's do that thing also. So now what I would ask it, that is display the cards inside a grid of 4 columns with a grid gap of 40 pixels. So let's do this, and it would generate a code for the container element as well, because currently we are like seeing it in a vertical order here. So let's do that. So we need to modify the followers list component like so. And before we work upon with this, let's go back again. And if we click on any of the URLs here, that is their names, usernames, we can see that this is clickable here and it takes us to their GitHub profile. So thank you, Sergius, for following me. And now if I go to any other URL, so let's go to this URL. And to generate all this code here, or to generate all this UI here, I did not wrote even a single line of code. I simply copy and pasted it from ChatGPT. So now we are here, and it says us to display it inside a grid of 4 columns. We need to modify the follow assist component like this. So what I would do, I would simply copy this piece of code again from here that says followers grid. That is the only change I suppose we have here inside this return statement. So let me simply copy and paste each and everything from here. And let's save this, and let's go back and let's simply copy in this code from here. So let's copy it and let's go back to our index.css file, and let's simply remove each and every code from there, and let's simply paste the new code. So let's save this, and now we see that we have a grid with 4 column grid with this thing here. How sweet is this? So now what I want to do is this, that I want to contain my grid inside a max width of 960 pixels, and you can go on and on and on with this thing here. So let's go again, and let's say that the followers grid should be horizontally centered and has a max width of let's say 800 pixels. So let's see that what code it would generate this time. And again, I have not written even a single line of code. It is all AI generated by ChatGPT. And how cool is this? Like I wrote a complete application using ChatGPT. Like it is like super awesome according to me. This thing. So we see that to center the followers grid horizontally, we need to give it a max width of 800 pixels. So we already know this. But for those of you who don't know that how to give it a max width of 800 pixels, you can simply again copy and paste all the code. And we see that sometimes we get this network error. So what we can do, we can simply regenerate the response, I suppose. So we can simply click on regenerate the response and it would simply uh, answer us again. So it says that to center the followers grid, we need to set a max width of 800 pixels and we need to add a margin of 40 pixels and auto. So let's simply copy all this code from here, or let's wait for this to finish. And for the avatar itself, it is assuming this that we want a width of 64 pixels and height of 64 pixels and with a rounded avatar here with border radius here. So what we can do, we can simply copy this piece of code from here and we can go back to our app index.css file, and again we can simply paste in the new CSS file and let's save this. And this time we should be having like a centered grid here. We see that now we have a max width of 800 pixels and it is not stretching towards the end. So again, if you are a developer and you are worried about ChatGPT may take away your job, don't worry about this. Instead, you should take it to your advantage and you can generate some good code from ChatGPT and then you can use it inside your applications. So nothing to worry about from ChatGPT, but instead just take advantage of ChatGPT until it is free. So guys, that's all about this video. So thank you. Bye bye. Tata. Take care and have a good day. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and if you haven't liked the video, do like the video if you like the video and do subscribe to the channel. It motivates me a lot to create such kind of videos. So thank you. Bye bye. Tata. Take care and have a good day and have a great day.